This is Trevelyan Smith. Now, he's just an ordinary country guy. He lives at Streaky Bay, and I knew about Trevelyan years and years and years ago, didn't I, Trevelyan?
That's right.
Yeah, ages ago. And he's just an ordinary guy, and he lives at Streaky Bay, and he ran an electrical shop. And, you know, like, life could have just stopped there, but it didn't. Somehow, Trevelyan got involved with a dream. And the dream began, and it started to blossom and grow. Tell me about how your dream started.
Well, I guess, Ruth, I've always had a passion for radio. Since I was about 9 years old, I just had a passion for communication, really. And as time went by, I started to get a dream or a vision to see Christian radio across the country. I thought, wouldn't it be great if we could have a 24-hour Christian radio service broadcasting right across the country? And I thought I'd like to be involved in that. And I just didn't think anything was happening. And then one day I was at a church service up in Ceduna with the pastor up there, and he knew that I was doing Christian TV satellite, and I'd been working with Austar doing satellite installations, and he said, I got a note the other day to say that there's a radio service coming out of Brisbane that you can receive on your satellite, and they're retransmitting it around the country. And I said, I'll ask them for the details on it, and I tracked it down on my satellite decoder and found that I was able to get this 24-hour Christian radio service, and I immediately piped it straight into the house. We had a shed, and where all my satellite gear was, where all my junk is, so it didn't contaminate the house. And I just loved it. I just fell in love with it straight away. And down in my shop, I put another sat dish up down there, and found another old PA system and had it going in the background, so when customers come in the shop, it was there as well. And then it progressed from there. When I was going out on the jobs, I found that as soon as I got out of my shop or out of my house, I couldn't hear Christian radio anymore. And so I used to take a small sat dish, something like I've got down the back there, on a stand, and I made a 2.4 gig link up, which is just like a mini transmitter, and I beamed it into my car so that I could set the dish up on the job and fire the signal into my car radio and listen to it while I was on the job. But I still couldn't drive around listening to it. And one day I rang up one of the techs in Vision and asked him about how we go about getting it on air. And I explained to him that we're having a field day just out of Streaky Bay, the Chanada Field Day. And I said, I'm just trying to get people interested so I can raise the money to get it on air. And he said, we'll send you down a demo transmitter and you can use it on the day. And I said, oh, great, will you? And he said, yeah, we'll send you down one. I was over the moon about that. So we took it out there and we set it up with a PA system and let people, and told people that they could listen to it in their cars if they wanted. And then we moved from there, went in, he said, well, you might as well keep it now, you can do a couple of test transmissions in Streaky Bay. So it worked from there.
Okay,
yeah.
So Trevelyan got this passion and heart to have Christian radio across the state, but he lives at Streaky Bay, which is on Eyre Peninsula, so his heart was, well, we'll start on Eyre Peninsula. So you started getting antennas up all around to the little country towns of Eyre Peninsula.
Yeah, I had a vision of like a spoke wheel. I thought, well, no one else has got my vision yet, and you need to, when you start a fire, you need to start with a small flame and then build it out. So the first slide that you saw was my first install on the Streaky Bay CFS shed. I got permission from the council, and I got a bit bold and asked for another one of the other sites because I do a lot of communication work. I look after TV transmitters and work for Broadcast Australia. So I had a few inroads, a few contacts, and I decided that if I had those contacts, they were something that I had the favour of God in relating to those people. So I needed to use that favour to gain access to those sites. And the local council of Streaky Bay actually gave me 4 sites to transmit from. The first being at Streaky Bay, and the second one was Malingi Hill, which is actually a tower I built in 2000. It's a 150-foot tower, and it has a huge range on that one. And I was getting people when I first started off with who said to me that they didn't listen to radio much, and these were Christians, and I was a bit distressed about that because I knew how good the programming was and how much it would encourage you in your faith. They heard it, and then they started getting behind me, and then churches started getting behind me, and then we saw that network, which started from the centre of Streaky Bay, started rating out. It goes.
And because it's so Christ-based, they really wanted it in Adelaide, and so now Trevelyan's been travelling through Adelaide all hours of the night and putting up antennas, and I don't want to embarrass him by getting him to tell you how many thousands of dollars he's personally poured into his vision and how many kilometres he's travelled free of charge just to get the vision. But now it's happening over Adelaide, and it's going to be able to... So there you go, a story of a vision. Give him a clap. Give him a clap. He's travelled kilometres. He's dug holes in ground. He's spent lots and lots of his own personal money just wanting to get each Australian home to be able to access Christian radio so they can feel the love of Jesus. It's a fabulous, fabulous vision from a man who just, so to speak, just owned a little electrical store at Streaky Bay that no one knew very much, and now he's quite well known over Vision Radio. If you listen to Vision Radio, who listens to Vision Radio? I want a few hands to go. It's just awesome. It's just amazing. And it's just touching lives all over. It's just a vehicle of God that he wants to bring people to know his love and his comfort. So I just want to thank you, Trevor, for coming. Did you want to say one last thing?
Yeah, just one last little thing I'd like to say, just in view of what your theme is for tonight, is that I believe that God has placed an ability in our hearts to do certain things, whether they're small things or large things. And one day we're going to stand before him and we're going to be answerable to him for those talents that we've got. And those talents can be standing at the door, ushering people in to something that might seem big and grandeur or whatever. But in my situation, I had the contacts, I had the ability to be able to do it, and I knew I had that ability to start something. And God has taken it further than what I expected it to. But the point that I'm trying to make is that whatever we've got within us, it only takes a small spark to set a fire going, and we can be passionate. And you can hear from my voice how passionate I am about it. And you can have whatever God has given you a passion for, then develop it and use it, and go undeterred.
The glory of God. Okay, just give John another hand. And thank you so much. He's driven all the way from Streaky Bay just to share with us tonight. He's got a stand at the back. He's got some